Alright folks, so in today's video we're going to take a look at a new radio from Radio Oddity. It's the Raddy RW3. And I did want to say I was contacted by the fine folks at Radio Oddity and they asked if I would do a review of this particular product. I said yes, and they sent it to me free of charge in exchange for this video review. Taking a look at the box, it's pretty standard stuff, and the radio seems to be pretty secure inside the box. I don't feel anything juggling or jostling around. Let's go ahead and open it up. Now, I had not previously opened this radio, so we're going to enjoy this moment together. And there you can see the radio, and it says reference to old time. The radio does have a retro look and feel, which is kind of cool. Let's start playing around with some of these controls. And it looks like you adjust the frequency by turning the large knob on the front of the radio. And there's a slider at the top that allows you to toggle between Bluetooth, weather band, AM, and FM. On the side you have a power button, an aux port, a USB out for charging devices, and a TF card or microSD card slot. On the bottom there's a switch for charging and SOS. There's a volume button on the side, but this thing ships with a pretty dead battery, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge it up. There's some control buttons on the top, one for the flashlight and then various controls for operating Bluetooth or if you're playing music from the SD card. Inside the box there is a carrying bag. I don't know if I'm going to use this or not. For this radio, I'll probably use it for something else. And then there seems to be some sort of charging cord. At the bottom of the box is the instruction manual. And like the radio, the instruction manual has an old look and feel to it. And it seems to cover all the different features and functions in multiple languages. I'm not sure what that says. Alright, let's get this stuff put away and take another look at the radio. The radio does have a hand crank that you can use to generate power to the battery inside the radio. And that's pretty handy. And I guess that's why they call this an emergency radio. I don't necessarily see it so much as an emergency radio as a cool little retro radio that'll look good on your desk. Let's go ahead and tune around a little bit.
Cures for cancer.
I did want to mention that this radio comes with this USB cable. It's a bit of a hybrid cable. On one end you have micro USB and then USB-A, along with a tip ring sleeve jack. You use this for the aux feature on the radio, where you can connect it to various devices like a PC, tablet, or cell phone. Here is the Radio Oddity website for the particular product, and I'll include this link below. I wanted to include it here so you can see the price and then you can get more detail on the various options or features for this radio. I wanted to take a quick look at a couple of the pictures and then you can see this radio deployed in a variety of configurations, like connected to a cell phone, for example. If you scroll down, you can even get more detail on the features and then the specifications listed. I also want to take a minute to show the online instruction manual. Radio Oddity does a great job of posting their instruction manuals online, and that's handy for people like me because I don't keep track of the paper manuals very well. Here you can see the instruction manual, and it's pretty well written and easy to follow. So thanks to Radio Oddity for that. Here you can see the specifications and more detail on the different features. In addition to the hand crank and the solar panel, you can charge the radio using the supplied USB cable. Just plug the micro USB into the port on the right hand side of the radio, and then plug the USB-A side into any charging port. So I wanted to take another look at some of the features of this radio. The first being the SOS. So if you're ever getting a little bit of a pickle, you have that option. The reception on FM is pretty good. I don't want to get demonetized here. AM's a little bit of a different story. It could just be my location.
Dad and him make different ways. Is that accurate at all?
Weatherband, I'm unable to pick up anything, but I typically have trouble picking up weatherband in my current location. So I will take this out and try to get some weatherband outside. This is a Bluetooth mode, and what I'm going to do now is connect to it via Bluetooth on my Android tablet. The other thing I wanted to note is that you can put a micro SD card in here, and then using these keys you can set it so that you can play music off of the micro SD card. Let's get out the Android tablet now.
Connect.
So it looks like we're connected. Alright, so here you'll be able to see the Smokin' Ape watching the Smokin' Ape. These are in the bands that you're planning to operate. And that can cause a little bit of... So that's a pretty cool feature. I actually like that. Suppression techniques that you can use. People will put This radio also has an auxiliary input, or AUX for aux. Long press this first button,
mode.
and it goes into AUX mode. And then we're going to use the supplied cable. This plugs in right here. And now I need to use an adapter to go into my Samsung Galaxy S7 tablet.
My name is Austin Holbert.
I'm Dallas Wolford.
And that's playing as well. So that's pretty cool. I'd actually prefer to use this in a Bluetooth configuration, but it gives you options. Alright, something else I wanted to talk about was this solar panel. And as you can see, this is a pretty small, non-adjustable solar panel. And by non-adjustable, I mean I can't tilt it to better capture the sun's rays. Given the size of this, I don't think it's a really reliable feature for charging this radio. Perhaps you can use it to maintain a charge or keep your battery charged. What I read in the instruction manual is it takes 60 to 70 hours to charge the battery with this particular solar panel. Also, I don't see any place on the radio where I can open it up and switch out the battery should it go bad. Now, I'm pretty sure if I reached in here and took these screws out, I could disassemble the radio and then I could switch the battery, but I don't know for sure. And then there's your flashlight feature, which is pretty cool. This flashlight is pretty bright, and I think there might be some plastic on there. Maybe not. So I took the radio outside in order to test reception on the weather bands, and the results were the same. I'm not ready to blame the radio yet. I often have this problem with multiple radios. It just has something to do with where I'm located in proximity to the weather broadcasting stations. So in closing, I do want to say a few things about this radio. I do like it, and I think it's kind of cool. I like the look of this radio. In terms of being an emergency radio or survival radio, it's a little heavy, and I don't think it's rugged enough to be what I would consider a survival radio. Also, the inability to put better antenna systems on here. For example, if I wanted to maybe pull in a weaker signal or something like that, would prohibit it from being a survival radio, in my opinion. In terms of an emergency radio, is this something that you can use in the event that the lights go out? Sure. It does have limited solar capabilities, and the big thing is that you can charge it with the hand crank on the back. But I really see this as a cool little retro radio that you leave on your desk, and maybe you stream to it with Bluetooth, or you listen to your local broadcast stations, something along those lines. I do like it, and I want to say thanks to Radio Oddity for sending it to me for my consideration, and I want to thank everybody for watching. I really appreciate it. Thanks, folks.